to Steel Division Normandy 44. Alright guys, so today we are playing a 91st Luftland? Luftland I believe it is? What is it? Let me look. It is Luftland deck. And this is actually my first time ever playing one, which, as you guys will soon be able to see, we'll speed this up a little bit, I am very inexperienced with a full infantry deck. Whew, this game was tough. Now the team as a whole pulled out a win. I think I took way too many casualties. I wanted to get into a city, but unfortunately I wasn't fast enough and some other people tagged it. So I decided, let's spin this around here. I decided that I was just going to pull, right in the center between this city and, well, left side center, something like that. Right in this general area. I figured I could get into these tree lines, run up this way, and we'll go ahead, we'll keep it going quick. Go ahead and push up. So I have a whole bunch of basic, it's like 10-point infantry. I don't remember what they're called, but we'll find out in a second. As well as one mortar, 2 anti-tank guns, infantry leader, and some of the elite unit infantry, which again we'll take a look at their names as soon as we deploy some of them here. But I pushed up the roads pretty quickly, so I was definitely able to secure the area fast. I mean, these little vehicles are quite quick, but you'll see throughout this game there is definitely a problem with these infantry. So let's get one of them out so I can remember the names of them here. So of course we hit contact right away. I was trying to get a little gutsy with these, what are these guys here? Yeah, if you can pronounce that, go ahead. I don't speak German, so trying to push up with these. These are 10 points each for each of these units. I got a couple over in this tree line. These ones got popped before they made it to that tree line, and I didn't really, it's hard to know when you're dealing with full infantry what units are in what vehicles. I should have paid more attention to the stars on the vehicles, but actually it didn't show them for just the vehicles themselves, so that was a little annoying. But I do have a leader, a couple leader units right here. I believe that's this guy. Maybe it's not that guy. Yeah, it is that guy. So that's the leader unit. I have a leader unit over there, put a scout there, and a couple units of those cheap infantry. And basically just started filling out the tree line. Got my mortars going right away, trying to help out, drop some shells over here. And yeah, already bringing in more. We have 2 Pack 36s for anti-tank. Unfortunately, we stopped them in this tree line, and their range, we're not even at 1,200 meters where those tanks are right now, and I believe they're only hitting at 1,000. So that was a little troublesome. I should have probably tried to push them into this tree line, but then again, if I would have done that, they may not have lasted. So blue is already right in here with an a 57mm gun, and then of course another blue player is over on this other flank here, my right flank. So I'm getting hit by 2 different guys. Not quite sure their names here because I can't actually read that. But yeah, so that was a little tough. I was kind of pincered right between 2 guys, which ended up making this very, very hard. But I will say, even though I lost a ton of units, they were only 10 points each, and they were able to hold the enemy back quite well. Now, one thing you'll notice over here is this flank has nothing. I don't know if this guy ended up quitting right at the beginning or what, but throughout the game, you can see right here, this is growing big time, and the enemy had way more territory than we did. But this is destruction, so that didn't really matter. So, whoops, not quite on my zone yet. Alright, so as you can see, like I said, I'm bringing up a lot of infantry, and that's pretty much the primary thing that I did. Again, I'm not super good with infantry. I pushed my Pack 36s out to try to snipe some of these vehicles that were over here. A couple Honey Stewards and MMGs, I don't know, machine gun carrier. So yeah, I tried to push up on them a little bit. They had a lot of heavy machine guns, but again, I owned this tree line pretty much the whole game, which was very nice. Now they brought in some planes, and in my deck I have a lot of fighters, so I purchased a BF-109 right away because I wanted to get rid of their little Rosie. And then of course you can see back here more infantry and scouts coming up. I probably should have brought a tank in earlier, but I didn't, and that's where I lost that BF-109 Rosie rather quickly. So they did have that Spitfire. I wasn't watching that, so I didn't know what had happened there, but I figured out shortly. So I'm pushing up here with scouts, and again, more infantry. I have this tree line very, very well, but or I have it, locked down pretty good. A couple of mortars in there would have hurt me pretty bad, but I did lose this tree line. And although those units are cheap, they, well, you get what you pay for. Here I came in with HS-129, which, man, those things are awesome early game. A couple flybys, and I believe I took out 2 vehicles with it, or at least 1 vehicle, and made another one flee here. You'll see he comes in on this one, and yeah, he takes out a couple vehicles. So that was pretty nice. That HS-129 was definitely worth it. So here, now they're figuring it out. They're throwing some mortars at me from right there. They have some mortars right back in there, and they're pushing me out of this tree line a little bit, and they've actually pushed into this tree line really heavily, but fortunately this player here on my flank, Storm, has pushed up and is now helping me out quite a bit. So you can see we're starting to be able to push them back. In terms of points, our victory total, we are gaining quite a few points. I mean, we're killing a lot more than they're killing of us. Maybe not more, but more expensive. And again, in destruction, that's more important than what they're doing to us. So they're killing a lot of my cheapo, 10-point infantry, but that's not really going to help you when you're trying to get as many points as possible. Now, one unfortunate thing is, at this point, I was starting to run low on infantry. So here I bring in a Panzer, what is this? A Panzer 39H, and of course I bring a 210 off-board artillery piece, and this guy does some work for me. I'm actually pretty happy with that. And now I'm down to machine guns and a few more infantry. Here I promptly lose another tank that I had in earlier. I can't remember. Yeah, that was my tank that I brought in earlier. He was down here. And I put the Panzer right here and just kind of hold him steady. I'm going to drop some artillery right here, try to get rid of this M5 gun, this 57mm gun, and get rid of a couple of their little half tracks because those things are super annoying. Over on the left flank, there's definitely a lot of fighting going on, but fortunately I had some pretty good teammates over here, so like I said, they were dishing out a lot more than they were taking, and we had quite a few people playing the 91st, so those cheap units, again, although they die, they're not causing us a big loss of points. So let's go ahead and speed this up a little bit. So here comes this bombardment, and it takes out their 57mm gun and forces both of their half tracks to fall back. So that's pretty nice. And then of course at that point, you can see over here I've held on to this entire right flank with the help of the player on my right flank. So again, not all me, definitely had a lot of help, but this is allowing me now to kind of push up. So I bring this tank up, and I want to get these guys out of here. This left flank ally here is putting in quite a bit of work on the enemy, so I decided, you know what, I'm going to push. Yeah, that didn't go too well, but I continued to do it anyways, and excuse me, I'm sorry guys. So, and right here I have a whole lot more infantry coming up, and these once again are those cheapo 10-point units, but they do some work when you get them all, pumping up, and they have a leader next to them, which apparently you pick up the leadership from any other nearby leaders that are allies, which is really good. So they immediately get pinned down, but as you can see here, I am about 5 seconds away from dropping an artillery bombardment again. And this definitely does some work, pushes back all these units in this area, which is huge for us. This rocket bombardment really hurts though. They hit this rocket bombardment. It kind of does the same thing to all of our units right here. So we're both kind of hosed. And then I go ahead and I drop it again. So this is my last one I drop. So in about 20 more seconds, we'll go take a look at that. So I'm pushing up as fast as I can because we know that they were pushed back there. And then I'm trying to move my Panzer up, but that was a bit of a mistake because he's about to get popped. Infantry and trees, got to keep your tanks away from trees, and that was a rookie mistake. Kind of like what happened to well, not really. They have plenty of anti-tank weaponry up there and tanks. But I did get into this tree line, which is great. And of course, we're now pushing back up again. Oh, sorry, I missed that bombardment, you guys. So that next bombardment hit, pushed them back a little bit, but again, here they come. We do have quite a bit of friendlies down here. I think this is all just Storm, isn't it? Yeah, this guy's pushing, well, there, yeah, and then here comes the next guy. Yeah, this is all Storm. So Storm is sandwiched in right in between myself and this other individual, and he's been very, very helpful keeping these guys off me. So I'm trying to push up as much as I can, but at this point you guys can tell I don't have a lot left. I've lost so many units. So I dumped these guys out in a minute, and I'm actually focused over here right now because I'm trying to push into this tree line. So I've got my scouts running up, and I bring in a couple of airstrikes in a second here. So yep, here comes one airstrike, and I'm not quite sure. Oh, that was the HS, that's why. Okay, that's where I lost the HS. I couldn't remember where I lost it, but I was trying to take out this unit, this Bren group, and there we get them pinned, and now I start shooting forward as fast as I can. So these guys jump in. These guys are going to jump out in a second, but unfortunately this just doesn't work out quite the way I'd hoped because this individual over here has quite a bit of support, and you'll see what happens in a second. So yeah, here comes some 17 pounders and 25 pounders shooting in on all my units in here. And I thought I was going to do really well, but everyone got panicked and everyone surrendered. It was rather frustrating. So, and then of course that guy dies. So back over here, I come back, and at some point I'll dump these two guys out, but it hasn't happened yet. I do have my Panzer sitting right here, and he's putting some shots in, but not super effective. Actually, that's this Panther D. There he gets forced back. Now, I don't have any anti-air at this point either, so they're able to just scout us super easily, which is really unfortunate. But I am bringing up, yep, there they are, I'm bringing up a lot of artillery and mortars because at this point I'm pretty much out of troops, and my tanks are meh. I probably should have brought more tanks, but I didn't. Here I'm bringing some fighters in. This was a little frustrating. Came in after those guys, got panicked by the AA, and then shot down by his fighters. That was annoying, to say the least. But, you know, it happens. So I wonder if he lost that fighter. Yes, he did. Good. Somewhat payback there. So now our buddy here is dropping some mortars like crazy. I'm continuing to drop mortars over here with the Flak 39s. Is that what it is? FK39R, I guess. So we're dropping on these guys, just kind of trying to keep them back, and I'm sure it was rather frustrating. Their massive armored division that they're trying to push on us keeps getting pushed back because of artillery, so that was pretty funny. And it gets even worse in a second here once my Lorraines get in place. So they're almost in place. These guys are starting to push, and over here these guys are pushing. Now, I did forget to show you guys this. Since they'd pushed down here, I decided just to throw a bunch of infantry in these trees, which kind of helped. I mean, they held off the blue advance to some degree. In a minute here, I'll dump these guys out and push them into the trees as well. Actually, I don't even know if I do that. Maybe I forget the whole game. I definitely have to get better at that. I mean, I can shift click them into the trees. I should be doing that right when I bring them in. So now I'm dropping artillery. All we're trying to do is just try to keep these guys from pushing on us, and you can see there's artillery everywhere. I don't really have a front line anymore. I've lost the majority of my troops, but again, now we have the individual who was on my right flank has kind of come in to help us out a little bit. So this fight is like, I mean, look at the map. The majority of the fight happens on our side of the map. I mean, it's pretty massive over here. So it was really, really fun and really hard fought. I get in, drop my bombs, and push them back again. I am loving those, oh man, next time I bring them in, I'll have to remember what they're called, but it's that 240 point fighter or bomber for the 91st. It is incredible because it can take a ton of damage. That one, of course, didn't, but some of my other ones do. So shortly here, I see all these guys are panicked. I grab a plane real quick, a JU-88. I grab a JU-88, and in he comes, and I drop a bomb right in the center of that. And that worked out really, really well. I ended up getting, I believe, a couple tanks out of that, which was really, really nice. They tried to get him, and he got out in time. So we continue to drop mortars. We're continuing to just hit these guys and cause as much morale damage as we can. I see these guys are about to push over here, so I'm switching and kind of spread my mortars out a little bit to try to push them back as best I can. Aircraft wise, that was a little bit of a problem. I did finally bring in, you'll see them right here, I brought in some Flak 36s, got a couple of them. So hopefully that would help push these guys back a little bit. And over here I do have some more, I believe these were flamethrowers that I was bringing up from the support tab. It was some of the last infantry I had, and a couple more NAR units. So I'm coming in trying to bomb again. I have a BF-109. I was just trying to do as much morale damage as I can. Not bomb, I was actually just shooting with machine guns, I believe. Looks like we shot one of them down or lost one or something like that, but we're definitely trying to put a lot of hits on these guys. They have so many scout planes, which was something I hadn't seen happen in a while, is people using that many scout planes. Kept trying to shoot them down, but I just kept seeing scout planes come back, and they'd get them out really fast. Here, of course, we're, like I said, continuing to push them back. Every time they come in, we force them back. We weren't killing a huge amount of them, but we definitely were getting them, you know, lowering them enough, weakening them enough, and any of their weaker vehicles we would definitely kill. So that was a bonus. They've got some artillery going as well, but they were kind of counter-artillerying me, and I was trying to pull back, but I missed right here. And unfortunately, they forced me to fall back quite a bit in the next little bit here. So in they come again. In a few minutes here, I bring in another JU-88 and go back on the offensive with bombing. Bombing with those things, man. Whew, it was strong, but unfortunately, I will say this: the morale damage is nice, but mortars and bombs do not do that much damage to tanks, and so it's really hard to pop them. So you can get the lighter stuff, but not really the heavier stuff. Maybe next time I'll try coming in from another angle, although I'd have to come in from the right flank. So they're pushing pretty hard here. You can see they're, I mean, kind of a concerted effort. I've got these anti-tank, actually I don't know if that was my anti-tank gun or somebody else's, but basically the Challengers, a bunch of Challengers, Honey Stewarts, 17 pounders. I mean, everything is just pushing in on us. At this point, my front line is decimated, and I'm bringing in a Stug 3, and I'm just trying to do whatever I can with the units I have left, which is not much. I pumped out so much infantry, and I really thought that I was going to be really, really negative on this game, but I was pretty surprised at the end result. So I do have some Grenadiers hiding in the tree line here, and I'm bringing these guys finally back up. They've, well, I think they're still, no, that's my opponent falling back. So now we're launching artillery again, and we've got the Stug who's moving up, and they're, of course, coming in. They have the cover of this tree line, which is really unfortunate for us. I probably should have moved my Stug over here somewhere. And here, let's zoom out. It's being funny. It's not letting me. There it is. Huh, must be a review. Look at that. Huh, Okay, well anyways, I was trying to move my Stug to this area, or I should have moved him to that area, but for now I just hold him here. These guys do push in pretty hard, but now I think at this point I realized, oh, we're actually winning, because I kept thinking it was a conquest game. I thought we were getting crushed. So, and that's actually why I put units over on that right flank. Otherwise, I would have never done that. But anyways, I'm realizing, okay, we're doing pretty good now. I'll just keep trying to push these guys back and hope that my opponents with their heavier tanks, their Panthers and whatnot, can finish off these guys, and maybe I can drop a couple bombs and get kind of lucky, pick up a couple extra kills and whatnot. So that's interesting. What in the world? Interesting bugs. So it's probably just a replay bug. I'm not quite sure what happened there. So let's slow this down a little bit. So now we're really close to the end of the game. I have two Ju-88s. I'm gonna bring another one in over here. So they saw that they were pushing really hard and they were all clumped up. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna bring a Ju-88 in over here and bomb them. Did I already do that? I may have already done that. Yeah, I think I already did that. Yep, he's already on his way out. So I already did that. Sorry about that, guys. I missed showing it. But they were all clumped up right in this area. I brought a Ju-88 in and bombed them and pushed them all back, and that was pretty successful. So we're really close to winning. I ended up killing, that was where I believe I killed the two tanks and the transport with that one bomb because they were so tightly clumped. We're holding them well enough. We're getting a couple more shots in. You can see we're only down 500 points from the victory. I bring another Ju-88 in to drop some more bombs, and I believe I dropped them, shoot, I don't know, somewhere around here, but I didn't get any kills, unfortunately. Oh, it was over here. There were two jumbos and an M4, and so I pushed them all back by dropping bombs right here, but now they're already on their way back, coming forward. Fortunately, my allies once again had a huge amount of units left. Me, all I had was 3 Ju-88s, a BF-109, a couple grenadiers, and that was it. So end result for the game, I didn't really finish very strong at all, actually. I'm not quite that good with this infantry deck. Again, this was my first time ever playing a deck like this. As you guys know, I usually play the what is it, Third Armored Division for the U.S. And so usually I'm not quite that infantry focused. I do okay with it, but being able to back it up with tanks is really nice. Here we go. Take a look at the outcome. I actually finished just barely negative. That's what really surprised me. I had 2,486 kills. I think a lot of it was due to my planes. You'll see here I had, well, the FS Jaegers. These are the elite infantry. This one did pretty good. Let's see who else. The HS-129 did decent. Honey Stewart and M3 half track. Yeah, my 210 millimeter artillery bombardment got recon, some rifles, and an M5 gun. And who else did pretty well? Pac 38, of course, did great. Yeah, the Ju-88S. This is the one where he ended up getting an M15 and two M4s, a 105 and a 76. So that was a really good points gainer for me. Overall, I don't know if I'll play this deck too much. I don't really like the infantry play style. I don't like units that are, you know, cheap and weak. I don't know if I really know how to play like that. I mean, if you guys have any tips for for playing with the 91st, definitely let me know in the comments. I would, like to know how to get better with them. I don't know if I'll really return to them too often, but anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, you know what to do. Smash that like button and make sure to subscribe to this channel for plenty more like it. And once again, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.